Okay guys, I'm about to go put my washing in. Whilst it's doing that, groceries, go put the second load of washing in, go to Mitre 10, get a broom. So, this topic's been on my mind for a while, but I've been talking a lot, and I watched the recording, and I'm glad it was said. I don't agree with everything that was said, but there's a lot of things I do agree with. But that's the nature with pretty much every recording you're going to come across. Unless, of course, it's you click on a topic that you know, and a person that you know you're going to have 100% agreement with because you want some comfort, and everyone has their comforting things. And if the whole bunch of people, like the whole world, you go to work, you go to places, and other people just don't agree with you, or they just avoid that conversation because they don't want to talk about it with you because you have different points. And then you have the odd person that's odd now. It used to be every day for me, dealing with these people every day, because I didn't stand up for myself straight away like I do now. Now it's an odd person, and it's someone who hasn't done it to me before, or maybe done it once and didn't learn the lesson the first time, and then I call them out on it a second time, and then it doesn't happen again because there's no point taking things further just over things you don't agree with. I suppose that's what they think. But it's just that I've just been a people pleaser for the first 23, 24 years of my life, and then the next 5-6 years I was learning how to not say guilt. I was getting rid of the guilt whenever I said no. Just smiling about the cars. That's another little thing too, because they haven't been doing that all day. All of a sudden, I'm not saying this for this reason, but that's happened in the past. So here's the thing. I was watching a recording by Nick Madisons on YouTube called Varge Virkenes is wrong about autism, and it's a very interesting recording. You should go watch it, and you should also watch Varge Virkenes on autism. Now, autism is a spectrum, as we know. So the thing I want to say is okay, there's other things have come to mind if I've pushed record, but that's not the reason why I pushed record. I wanted to talk, so I'll go with this one first. Is that I'm glad it was being said, because our whole entire lives we were told we were nothing, we were this and that. And so one defense mechanism can be to go to the other extreme and start listening to people and only hearing from people, and going around actually literally believing that you are superior to people who are not autistic because it's a coping mechanism. And I have to say, you're not superior. You're just different. There's people who say that the more autistic you are, the more smarter you are, the more you're this and that. In some instances, they're telling the truth. In some cases, this is actually the truth. In some areas. But in some cases, like some areas, examples they use, it's just a stick it right back at you attitude. No way, you are not better than me, because the whole entire life they got told by everyone that they were just inferior, weren't worth nothing, and then either they just decide screw the world and give the fingers up like that. And say, no, look, the whole, everyone who's not autistic is wrong, and in fact we're superior to them, we're better than they are, blah 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 blah, whether they have the results to show it or not. Now, here's the thing. We are better than them in certain areas, but in other areas, they're better than us. Blue-collar jobs, manual labour, for example. When I was in the orchards, I used to take, like, when I first started, I used to take like 3 times as long to finish a line as these other people. They were just better than me. And they knew it. And so, obviously, once I got a full-time job all year round of being denied and just being, fired for not being good enough, I got a full-time job when I was 27. First time full-time job all year round. The other ones were like, and got fired for not being good enough, they say. But I just know that I was going home sweating every day and putting 100% hard out effort in, and still only getting 1/4 of the job done in comparison to other people. So when I was holding on to that job 24/7, I mean all year round, when I was 27 years old, I went through a phase of like 27 through to like 33, where I was consciously doing it. I just didn't have these exact words for it, but I knew exactly what I was doing. But I was healing the trauma of that, right? By going around, the more work I could do, the better. The more hours I could do, the better. Unless, of course, if it was like the first season at Tamorna Pelts, then it was like, if it got to, once it got to like over 50 hours, I started to whinge, but not whinge to the employer, but just like to myself, like, oh, man. But after that, it was like 60, 70 hours. And I went through that 6-year period, 3 years at Tamorna Pelts, 3 years at Watties, different 2 different sites of Watties, Heinz Watties, trying to prove to myself that I wasn't less of that. And it was by doing, like, these other people were like, it's half day today, the department's finishing early because we got all the work done. Congrats, guys, see you tomorrow. Does anyone want to stay on? It was 97%, 96%. My hand I'd go up, I'd say yes, maybe not put my hand up, but that's just an essential thing from school. But I'd be doing this as I went over to go say hello to the people, the supervisor asking me about who wants to stay on. I was always yes, because I'm going to work hard till the end of the day, and subconsciously, because I knew it was making me feel better, and I wanted to make more money, and I wanted to show how valuable I was. But also, I was healing the trauma of getting fired from all these jobs for not being good enough, even though I was like putting in 100% effort and going home sweating every day. And there's jobs like computer science. There's other things like, white collar jobs so those are all manual labor jobs, right? And then there's building. I used to lose focus when I was building with my dad, but that was because I wasn't taking the medications I'm on now. And so that's the thing is and I had the need to be a people pleaser, because this was like when I was like high school up to 20 years old. I would help my father in building every single holidays, but I just had these other goals, and as well, like, teenage goals. I'm going to be a professional rapper, but I'd still go and work a 50-hour week with my father on the school holidays to go to this building, and then maybe like one week every school holidays for about 2-3 years. I was going to this Christian camp as a camp leader. I'm taking care of, they'd give me a team of like 6 or 7 boys that were like 8 years old, and I was 14 years old when I first started doing that. So I showed a lot of maturity in that. It's a coping mechanism, guys.